Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well and thanks for being here. This is another timeless reading that's for someone out there. My intention is that it will find the person or people it's meant for and at the right time. It's definitely not intended to be for everyone, so if you're finding that the storyline that emerges doesn't resonate for you, it's probably not your reading. You can still watch the reading because it's always an intention of mine that anyone who's drawn to one of my readings will gain something from it. That could be an insight, a piece of wisdom, or just the opportunity to see something from a different angle. So if you happen to be here, I think you are meant to be here. It's actually interesting because I started working on this reading when we were waiting for that cyclone to hit, and it's actually been fully ready to go for quite a few days now. But I just haven't had a chance to upload it, sort of record it and upload it. And sometimes I think that certain readings do have a certain time that they want to be published at. So I just go with the flow on that sort of thing. Right, we'll get started. We'll just quickly do our love pause first. So this is where we pause the video and we send some love out into the universe. You can also do this by doing a little Ho'oponopono prayer. And that would be, you saying the 4 sentences. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, and please forgive me. And thanks to everyone who does this. The time to pause is now, and I'll be starting my reading on the next slide. Okay, so this here is the spread for this reading. If you're interested in the decks that I've used, I'll have them listed in the description box. So as you guys know, I photograph my spreads sometime in advance. So there's usually a lag between when I photographed the spread and when I get around to channeling them. I can't actually remember when I took this picture, but it's funny to see the cat in this image because I don't know if you guys remember, but I was complaining in another video about how my Facebook feed was just full of nonsense. But I've been trying to tweak the algorithm by blocking all the pages that keep offering me pictures of near naked women, and instead I've been doing what I've been doing is liking a lot of cat videos and following those pages. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to convince the algorithm of what my tastes are, and I'll be able to replace most of the nonsense with cute animal stuff. But to be honest, I think the algorithm's a little bit demonic, so I suspect it's going to be a long-standing battle. But anyway, I've never been a cat person, to be honest, but I do find those cat videos are really adorable, so maybe I'll become a cat person at some stage. But yeah, anyway, I'll start where I normally start with the spread, which is at the bottom of the deck. So the card at the bottom of the deck is the Star card, which is an Aquarius card. Now, this is a card that represents healing, hope, and optimism, and often someone who's recovering from something traumatic because it does follow the Tower card in the Major Arcana. But this tends to be someone who's wishing for something good in the future. The image in this card, though, is not really giving me the impression of someone who's healing. So this, to me, looks like someone who's reaching for their star, and it's the brightest star that they can see in their sky. So this could well be about someone who knows what they want and they're going for it. But I also just got starseed when I was looking at this image, so that could certainly resonate for someone as well. I think this is about someone aligning with their life purpose or their North Node, which might be relevant given that we just had that Virgo lunar eclipse on the South Node. But anyway, my feeling from this card is that this person knows that this is their star that they're meant to follow. And I like that for the start. That's a really good start. All right, the card in the past position is actually the King of Pentacles. So this is about someone with a significant amount of material stability. So they're someone who has made it to the top in terms of the material life experience. And I tend to see it as someone who's worked hard to get where they are, but they're now actually so well off that they don't have to work that hard anymore. They can take it a bit easy. Because of income. So they've got income that just flows in from either their business operations or from work they've done in the past or from investments they've made in the past. And the King of Pentacles has such a good income that they have more than enough for their needs, so they can just take it easy. They can spend their days doing what they love. This card is Earth sign energy, but I do tend to read it as Taurus. Now, it was a bit interesting to me to go from that card in the past position to the card in the present position, because that's the Eight of Swords, which is about someone who's feeling stuck in some way. So there's a situation they're in that they can't get out of. Now, the Eight of Swords is about a mindset trap, though, so it's not anything physically limiting them. They're just feeling stuck because they're telling themselves that something isn't possible for them. And really, to get out of this situation, all they would have to do is change their mindset to, this is what I want to do. How do I go about it? Because if they shifted into that mindset of, yes, it is possible, I just need to find a way, then they would start seeing some of those possibilities, or start seeing those possibilities in their mind first, and then they'd be able to act on those. So I was confused, but then I zoomed in on this card to see if there was anything else to see, and I got a bit of a shock because I'm glad I do the spreads this way, to be honest, because I think with my eyesight I wouldn't have spotted it until I zoomed in. So I zoomed in, and in this image it looks like this person's third eye is open. Now that changes the storyline a little bit. So this isn't about the King of Pentacles feeling stuck. This is about the King of Pentacles seeing very clearly that everything they previously thought of as a barrier or a limitation was actually an egoic construct that relates to the 3D reality. So in this image, the bindings are still here, but it's like right at this moment in the present, the king has woken up to the fact that none of these things can actually stop him. I say him, it doesn't have to be a him, but none of these things can actually stop him from doing what he wants to do. So the king understands that his soul is limitless and that he shapes the future with his intentions. So sorry, I'm using the male pronouns because it's the king, but tarot cards are not genders, so it can be a male or a female. Now we have this open third eye, so it's almost like any limiting thought or fear that pops up is now just going to be met with a nice try, but you're not going to stop me. So I was getting North Node and Soul Purpose alignment from that star card at the bottom of the deck. So this is about that. I feel like this person knows that they've found their star that they're meant to follow. I feel like their third eye tells them that their soul path is the truth. And they're seeing the voices and influences that try to pull them off their soul path as the things that shouldn't be trusted. So even if they had a friend or a family member trying to convince them to step away from their soul path, they would just keep going on their soul path because they're absolutely certain that they're doing the right thing. And so to them, it's the friend or family member that's got it wrong. So they've got this strong conviction now, and they're wholly committed to their path. This is beautiful. And now I'm actually thinking, I've had to delay this reading. It's interesting, but I uploaded a post to Facebook and Instagram this morning, and it was about a Lemurian starseed. It had the Lemurian starseed card, and it was also about third eye activation. So maybe this video and that post are connected. I don't know if you guys have seen my Facebook or Instagram posts, but if this resonates for you, you might want to go check that one out as well. Interesting that the timing has worked out the same. All right, anyway, so I'm glad Spirit guided me to zoom in onto that Eight of Swords card, because now the reading's making a lot more sense. The card in the future position is the Page of Swords, and that star and there's a star in this card as well, and it's actually bigger and it's closer to this person now. It's within reach. It's close enough for them to reach out and touch it. So this means that this person is very close to fulfilling their destiny. And I guess if this is something they've been wholly committed to and they've never allowed anything to lead them astray, this is the future they will have. Excuse me. Now it's interesting to see that even in this Page of Swords card, her gaze is just fixed on that star. And I'm seeing that as meaning that it is still the thing that she trusts to guide her. Like she's just been unwavering, I think, in her commitment to following this star. So that's amazing. The Page of Swords card, we're talking about air sign energy, but I do tend to read it as Gemini. So this is someone who studies, who learns, who investigates. And there's a book in this image as well. So this person is committed to learning everything that they felt guided to learn about. And I'm also seeing that there's a labyrinth in the background of this image, and I do tend to see the labyrinth as representing the 3D matrix. So the fact that it's significant here that they've turned their back to it in this card. So I think with that open third eye, it's just an illusion to them now. They aren't letting the 3D reality or the 3D matrix distract them anymore. They know that that's not what their life's about. Their life's about this North Node, the star that they're following. Oh wow, this is so interesting. Now I'm going to get to the oracle cards now. For those who don't know, I do pull the oracle cards first, and so when I was pulling cards, I was guided to pull from 2 Avalon themed decks. And Avalon is, of course, a mythical island, and it's from the legend of King Arthur. Oh, wow. I'm just thinking back to the post I did this morning, because I think I was reading that Lemuria was a mythical, well, we don't know if it existed, but it's believed to have existed as an island as well. And I'm pretty sure it disappeared into the ocean, something like that. But it's interesting because Avalon is also like a utopian paradise and related to healing. And the Lemurians were also healers. And again, their civilization was also considered utopian. So that is very interesting. So yeah, definitely check that post out if you're interested. But anyway, getting to Avalon, in the stories it was known as a place of magic and healing. And in fact, the sword Excalibur was forged in Avalon. And look at the page of swords there with a sword as well. So Excalibur was the sword in the stone that only Arthur could pull from the stone. And he could do that because he was the true king. So that's making me think that this person's path might also be related to an important destiny that they're meant to fulfill. So it's their sword, I think, and this is their star, and this is their destiny, and it's not for anyone else. I'm drawn back to the starseed energy that we had at the bottom of the deck. So maybe they are a starseed there, and they're here to fulfill a particular life purpose. Now, the energies of the oracle cards are so interesting and complex because they do sort of weave into each other in different ways. And I'm thinking of the fact that we do have these Celtic patterns on these cards. So maybe it is like that sort of interconnectedness that I'm seeing with the messages on these cards. So I'll start with the cat card. It has the keywords independence and healthy boundaries. And that's taking me back to when I was talking about friends and family members who might try to influence this person away from their soul path. And the messages on this card are very much supporting that this person's stance is correct. So those other people are actually overstepping if they think that they should be the ones who'll determine the course of this person's life. And I just got a strong stay in your lane message. So I do get these clairaudient messages when I'm channeling, but when I say that was strong, it was strong. It was actually a bit of an angry message. So a bit like a growl. It was like someone growling, stay in your lane. So maybe if these conversations happen, this person is going to get angry and be saying, back off, this is my life, not yours, kind of thing. And that's reminding me of the Seven of Wands card in tarot, where the person is defending something that is really important to them. It's that energy of, if you keep coming at me, I will fight you. Oh, wow. And I'm just thinking angry growl with starseed, maybe Lyra and starseeds. We do have a cat in this spread, and we had another reading not long ago where Lyra came up as well. I think that was the reading where I was using some starseed decks, but yeah, this is all interesting because I got starseed at the start of this reading, so maybe that reading is relevant for someone as well. I don't know if anyone out there resonates with Lemurian or Lyran starseed ancestry, but maybe I'll just try and link things in the comments so you can go check them out if you're interested. Now, this cat card does emphasize independence. So this person is being guided to go their own way if that becomes necessary. And it's interesting that this cat has some darker markings around the third eye area as well. So I'm just getting a strong sense that it's important to trust what you feel to be the truth, because your third eye is open. And I think the message, I think this message is, it's actually in both. It's in both that Facebook, Instagram post, but I think it might have even been in that other starseed reading as well. To do with your third eye being open and knowing that you can trust your intuition because it's actually accurate. Yeah, I'll definitely link those two things in the comments, guys. Okay, so this card, this is also a number 18 card, which corresponds to the moon card in tarot. And that's a card about shadows, illusions, and fears. And that sort of leads us into that next card because, like I said, this is connectedness. So the moon card energy ties in very well with this next card, which is called the Mists of Avalon. And when you look at that image, it could actually pass for a moon card itself because there is a moon in this card, a lot of darkness, a lot of fog, and this woman is in this boat that isn't being steered by anyone. She just has faith that this boat will take her to Avalon, is the point, I guess. So the moon card is very much about trusting your intuition. It is a Pisces card. And I guess with an awakened third eye, this person is able to see through the shadows and illusions. And the woman in this boat doesn't seem fazed by the mists of Avalon. I think she knows she'll get to Avalon. So the keywords on this card are also interesting. And again, we have that interconnectedness. We have the keyword boundary and the keyword illusion, which are words we've already got through in this reading, but we also have enchantment and transformation. Now, enchantment fits with the magical nature of Avalon, that it can only be found by those who are meant to find it. And transformation makes me think of the death card, and I believe Avalon does have some connection to the afterlife. I'm not an Avalon expert, but yeah, I believe so. Anyway, this person is not who they were before, and I guess we see that in that Page of Swords card because of their total lack of interest in the 3D matrix. They really have transcended the 3D, and maybe that is what's granting them the ability to access Avalon. And I'm thinking of another reading. Gosh, it's funny how all these connections start coming in. I think it might have been the Pisces new moon reading, but there was a card where we see a mermaid develop some wings and fly up into another dimension, and she makes contact with Merlin in that card. And that was quite a bizarre image to me because I was like, oh, a mermaid with wings meeting up with Merlin. I was like, wow. But I think that card was titled Magic, and it looked like the mermaid was learning magic from Merlin. So Merlin is, of course, another character that's associated with the legend of King Arthur. And Pisces is here in this spread as well. So maybe thinking that reading was titled The Rebirth of a Chosen One, and we have transformation here, which is rebirth energy. So this reading here is talking about someone who was born to fulfill a specific destiny. They have the energy of transformation and they have access to Avalon. And so some things are tying in very well with that other reading as well. Gosh, I'm going to be putting a few links in the comment section, guys. So if you're interested, do check them out. Obviously, this is meant to stand alone as well as a reading, so you don't have to. Now, this card, the Mists of Avalon, is actually a number 15 card, which relates to the Devil card in tarot. So that could well relate to those perceived barriers and limitations that this person was experiencing when they were in that Eight of Swords energy. And we did have the impression that friends and family might have been overstepping or interfering as well. And maybe that was devil energy acting through those people to influence this person to step off their path. But I'm also thinking about that reading. I've just talked about that Pisces new moon reading, and in that reading, the death card was interesting because in that storyline, it was like someone was being intentionally harmed and they ended up quite sick or badly injured before they had their rebirth. So it was like they were being poisoned or something by someone who wouldn't have stopped until they were dead. It was quite a heavy reading. At the start anyway, it was very heavy. So if these readings are connected, there might have been some hardcore devil energy at play in this person's life. So It's almost like the devil energy wanted them gone. And I guess that would certainly fit with, if we're talking about someone who has an important destiny to fulfill, it would certainly make sense that there were, devil-like entities or, dark entities that would want them to not be able to fulfill that destiny. And I did call that person a chosen one in that reading because of the way that reading unfolded. The universe made sure they were saved and protected and supported while they healed and recovered. In terms of King Arthur, he was also taken to Avalon for healing when he was badly wounded or sick. I can't remember the story, but it's definitely interesting to see the connections between these readings that I've done. So yeah, fascinating stuff. So I guess the Mists of Avalon, maybe this person, if we're talking about the same person in both readings, this person was taken to Avalon to heal, like they were spiritually healed, and that's why they know how to get there now through the Mists of Avalon. Now, the third oracle card is titled Relief, and we see a woman on this card who looks quite similar to the woman on the Mists of Avalon card. And again, there are markings over the third eye. So again, we're talking about that activated third eye coming through quite strongly. She's carrying in her arms, in her hands, some plants, and I was seeing a connection to the cat card because there were some vines growing in that card as well. So I feel like, there may be something to do with plant medicine coming through here. So if we're talking about that person who was physically sick or injured in some way, maybe there are some herbal remedies that they might benefit from. The word relief does make it sound like there's something that's going to make them better or alleviate their symptoms. And if it's not about that, then this is someone who's learning how to heal others, and it could be through plant medicine. I'm looking at that star card because it was about healing, but I didn't feel like it was about this person healing. So maybe it is about this person becoming a healer. And we did also have in that other reading the mermaid learning magic from Merlin. So I feel like this could be someone who's learning healing practices, but maybe learning healing practices by connecting to ancient healers and magicians. And they've got this special access, which they've gained through their dedication, but it's also their destiny. So I think it was destined that they would be this person who could access these ancient healers and magicians. But in order to get that access, they have had to make the right choices and follow the right path. So I think they've done it in this future card anyway, in this Page of Swords card. So they've done it. They have this special access to, let's call it Avalon. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be Avalon, but I think we're talking about some sort of portal that this person has access to, and they can learn healing from the great healers of the past. And in this Page of Swords card here, they're reading, which fits with them being a beginner, an apprentice. So I feel like this access that they've got enables them to learn things that couldn't really be learned here in the 3D reality. Now this card, the relief card, is a 22 card, which is the card of the Master Builder in numerology. So it's not the 33, which would be the Master Teacher number in numerology. So the Master Builder energy is actually like magician energy. It's someone who can create what they wish to create. And I do think this person will be able to do that. They might actually already be able to do that. And they might already have that magician energy. But it was interesting to me that we didn't have Master Teacher coming through. So that gives me the sense they still have a long way to go before they're in teacher energy. Now they might already be quite powerful by 3D standards, but in that higher realm that they're accessing through the portal, they're actually just a beginner, they're a student. The master teachers are the ones who are up there in that higher realm, and this person is going to gain a lot from connecting to those teachers up there. And these are interesting energies for this person to navigate, because in the 3D, they'll be like the senior student that's about to graduate from high school. You know, they're mature and confident, and that's how the people around them will see them. But then, you know, they'll go to this other realm and they're like the little kid that's just started school, and they're nervous and unsure and feeling like they don't know much at all. And they're daunted by how much there is to learn, feeling like they don't even know what they don't know, you know, that feeling. So definitely an interesting reading. So, you know, I think this person is a student in that other realm, and a teacher perhaps down here on earth. But, you know, they're still at the beginning of their journey, I feel. And here we are. This is our last slide. I hope you enjoyed that reading. It was definitely interesting to have all those other readings pop up and seemingly link in with this one. That doesn't happen very often, but I guess sometimes these individual readings are part of a bigger story. Today I was just reminded of how we might put different sections of a jigsaw puzzle together, and then suddenly we see that this section's going to link up with that section. And maybe this is all to do with Neptune finishing up in Pisces. So the pieces finally start fitting together and the mystery gets closer to being solved, you know. Anyway, the decks I've used today, as I said, are listed in the description box. And this is the case for all of my readings, even the older ones. There will be some Amazon links with some of the decks, and those are links you can use to check out the decks. But the point I need to share is that if you purchase a deck using the link that I provide, then I might qualify for a small commission for your purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It just is a little bonus that they offer. So if you are wanting to buy the decks using my links, you'll find some extra information there in the description box. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please give the video a like and leave a comment if you feel guided to. Thanks to everyone who is already subscribed, and I'm so grateful for your support. And that's it. Take care, everyone. I hope that I'll see you again in a future video. Bye.